Alright, so reading rush is over. My reading vlogs are up if you want to go watch those. And so are my video challenges that I did. I did four of them. But this is a Tag Tuesday video. Getting back into the tags. I was tagged by Graham Quigley like a real hot second ago. I was tagged on June 18th. And I'm just now doing this tag, so apologies, but I forgot, probably. Like, I probably had time and I just probably forgot. That's probably what happened. But anyway, I'm going to be doing the book snob tag. But before I get into that, I would like to show you the pins and the painting that I mentioned in my reading vlog of Thursday through Sunday. And so those are this one, which is a raven, and it says perfectly fucking civil on it. And the painting to match it is actually right behind me right there. I'm gonna take it down and I'm going to show you what it looks like up close because you can't really see it, and I don't plan on doing another like close-up of all of my art, especially because I got a new print and we're not letting Graham Quigley see it because he hasn't finished all for the game and it would spoil it, okay? But it looks really good. The frame turned out really nice. Which, by the way, I got these in exchange for making 4 frames, so it was like an art trade type deal. I'll link my friend's Instagram in the description down below if you want to commission him for something. And yeah, so let me go get the painting. It says I am being perfectly fucking civil. And there's just, you know, a bunch of blues and some red in it. I like it. Yeah, so I'm gonna go put it back on my wall so it can be in the video. And then I'll show you the other pin. The other pin that I got says Slow Existential Jam on it, and it's Saturn. Because Saturn by Sleeping at Last is one of my favorite songs, and it is a very slow existential jam. So that's why I got this one. They're very niche things. So, yeah, we got Raven Cycle and we got Sleeping at Last. You know, it's a good time, though. I'm turning these into magnets. I just need actual like glue to glue the magnet to them because the adhesive on the magnet itself isn't strong enough to hold these up because we tried several times and they kept falling off. So I'm gonna wait until I actually get the glue to glue them on, and then you'll see them on my whiteboard with all of my other magnets. Oh, I can show you the 2 magnets and the thank you drawing that I got with the print that I can't show you. Okay, so we have Aziraphale and we have Crowley. You can see them better at this angle, or you can see Aziraphale better at this angle because the light was in the way. But yeah, so I got these 2 stickers. I made them into magnets, as you can see, and currently they're holding up my thank you card. It's actually like a thank you card on the back, but like, if you look, it says thank you, and it has a drawing of Andrew. At least, I'm pretty sure it's Andrew. Could be wrong. Could be Neil, I suppose. But it gives me very Andrew vibes, so I'm going with Andrew. Anyway, it's nice, and my magnets are holding it up on my whiteboard. They're just... It's right below my other magnets, so it would be like right there. So when I set like this, I obviously block them. But I wanted to show those off too. And as soon as Graham Quigley finishes all for the game, I'll show you guys the print as well, because the frame turned out pretty damn good. If you follow me on Instagram, because he doesn't have an Instagram, you can see it. You would have been able to see it on my story. It's not there anymore, I don't think, but... yeah, I now actually have my Instagram linked in the description down below, because I realized that I talked about it and then I didn't have it linked, so I have it linked now. If you want to go follow me on Instagram, totally can. But with that long intro, let's get on to the actual book tag. So the first one is adaptation snob. Do you always read the book before you see the movie? And my answer to that is not always. So I like to read the books before I see the movie, but sometimes I see the movie first. Like, I haven't read Every Day, and I saw that movie. I didn't read The Hate You Give before I saw the Hate You Give movie. I actually still haven't read The Hate You Give, so I don't know why I phrased it like I had. So yeah, those are just a couple of examples that I have seen the movie first and never read the book. Because I haven't read any of those books that I've seen the movies of. So, the next one is format snob. You can only choose one format to read for the rest of your life, and that's physical book, ebook, or audiobook. And I chose physical book because that's all I read. I never listen to audiobooks, so I would be fine without them, and I rarely read ebooks. The only time I read ebooks is when they're only available as an ebook. Otherwise, I would just prefer to get the physical book. So, yeah. Number 3 is ship snob. So, would I marry a non-reader? And I would if their personality was good. Like, if they have an interesting personality and they just don't like reading, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I guess, if I like you enough. But even, like, with that being said, I don't really see myself getting married, per se. The only reason I can think of that I would get married is for the tax benefits. The next one is genre snob, so I have to ditch a genre to never read for the rest of my life. So, like, I rarely read thrillers. I think one of the only thrillers I've actually read is The Secret History, which isn't really a thriller in my opinion. It's not like I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. But anyway, I think I would do just fine if I was never able to read a thriller again. So yeah, we'll go with that. Next one is uber genre snob, and so I have to pick one genre to read from for the rest of my life, and I'm going to pick fantasy because fantasy is very broad and it has a bunch of different like subcategories. So I could read high fantasy, I could read urban fantasy, I could read magical realism. I can't think of any other genres of fantasy out the top of my head right now, but the point is that I could read a bunch of different types of books within that genre because it's such a big genre. So yeah, that's what I would choose. The next one is community snob. So which genre do I think receives the most snobbery, I think is how you pronounce it, from the bookish community? And like, not really YA, because like, that's all anyone seems to read. And so like, I feel like that's not really an option. But, like, I don't feel like everybody loves fantasy, too, so, like, that's not an option, So, I don't know, really, how to answer this question, because I can't think of any genre that does receive snobbery from the bookish community. Like, oh, you read that? I'm way better than you, because I don't read that. Like, I can't think of any genres that fit within that scenario. I mean, I'm sure there are some people out there that are like, oh, you read YA? I only read, like, literature and literary fiction. So, like, I'm sure there's people out there that are like that. And I'm sure there's probably people that are like, ew, you read adult fiction? That's so boring. I'm sure there are people like that. Like, both examples that I provided probably exist somewhere in the world. I just haven't encountered them. Luckily. Number 7 is snobbery recipient. And so, have I ever received any snobbery for doing something? I don't remember the exact wording of the question, but that's the gist. And my story for this is basically, I was reading the Iliad on the plane, I was either going to my mom's or coming back from my mom's, and the person beside me just goes, "Are you 94 years old?" And I'm like, why can't I read the Iliad for fun and not be 94 years old? Why are 94-year-olds the only one who get to read the Iliad for fun? Like, I can't remember what I actually said in the moment, but yeah, he basically called me an old person because I was reading the Iliad for fun. So yeah, that happened. And that concludes all of the questions. I'm going to tag Cats and Camera, and I'm also going to tag Tomes and Tunes. So, if you guys want to do this tag, you can take your sweet time doing this tag like I did. Or you can do it fairly quickly after I post this video. It's completely up to you. You don't even have to do it. I just wanted to tag you just in case you haven't done this and you want to. That goes for anybody else too. If you want to be tagged, you can consider yourself tagged by me and do this video. Anyway, thanks for putting up with my long-ass intro to this video and me showing off all of the cool things that I've received. I just really like showing off things I receive because I think they're really cool, and I'm like, look at this thing, it's so cool. So anyway, there's that. Graham Quigley, you need to finish All for the Game so we can all see the print that I bought. Without further ado, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.